Rice on the left, Danny Jessup on the right, slicing tokens versus Saltide Dreadhorde. Both these players 8-1. Haven't seen a lot of Danny Jessup this year. I think he's putting a little bit more focus on work. However, he is here for the Invitational, and that makes me happy because he's one of my favorite players on the SCG Tour. Both these players getting a good look at their opening hand. They'll be given the green light here in just a moment, and round number 10 of 16 will be underway. It's a Temple Garden Untapped for Remington Rice. Should I say Remington's name like that every time?
You should not.
Okay. Flower of Flower Flourish. Getting a basic plains. It's a watery grave that enters the battlefield. Tap there for Jessup, and we're heading back over to Remington Rice in just a moment. Gavin Verhey's in the house. Hey, buddy. Hey, we're on, but I'm just saying hi anyway.
Former SCG Tour commentator.
You bet. He's hanging out. Got a nice little red blazer. Doing some panels. Okay. Yeah. Is that Amara?
Probably.
Okay. That can't be your answer.
Yeah, it can.
That cannot be your answer. Come on. Overgrown Tomb going to enter the battlefield tapped. Here comes Amara Token coming in. Probably is a good answer.
That's my, I don't know, the promo cards, you know.
Jerry T in the house now.
Ryan overturned some poisoning of the broadcast here.
How's that?
With, you know, sitting around getting ready for the pregame.
Oh, sure.
And a joke that he likes in, you know, his very Minnesota drawl, very dry presentation is someone's in the house.
That's right. The Ryan Overturf stand-up hour is going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's going to be really good.
Yeah.
History of Benalia going to bring a knight along with it. Jessup needs to do something to get on the battlefield here. There is a Woodland Cemetery.
Card advantage and selection and stats. It's just...
Nissa who shakes the world is the reveal. Jessup's got a 4-3 Jade
Keep
Light
my
Ranger.
generic Planeswalker on top of my deck. And hopefully the fact that my creature has good stats will matter inside of combat. Though also it might die.
It might get hit by a Conclave Tribunal. Perhaps.
Yeah, perhaps. I imagine, 4 copies.
Yeah, of course. It's the removal spell for the Convoked deck, the Convoked strategy. Thorn Lieutenant in hand here for Remington Rice, among other options. As History of Benalia has created another 2/2 Vigilance Knight token. That is Flower once again from Flower Flourish. So this will be searching up a Forest or a Plains. It's going to be a basic Plains.
Legacy Challenge players. Your round 4 pairings are being posted. Again, 9:30 Legacy Challenge players. Your round 4 pairings are now.
See what comes next here for Rice. Oh, yeah. Talk to me.
Do we have a trigger? We do.
Another token there from Amara. There's Jessup on a block Amara. That's generating a bunch of tokens. Or does Jessup want to block a Vigilant Knight token that will get larger next turn?
I like this block from Jessup because I think one of the easiest ways to justify this attack from Rice's side, if you have another copy of Amara in your hand, assuming that Jessup will take that opportunity to block your Legend. So I like blocking the Knight token there. 1, because it gets tougher next turn, and 2, because there's a reasonable chance that Rice has another copy of Amara in hand.
Thorn Lieutenant is the follow-up play. We're going to head back over to Jessup now for his 4th turn of the game.
Super generic. Here comes a card, maybe.
That's got to go to the graveyard, I think. Command the Dreadhorde seems like a stinker in this matchup.
I can't fathom keeping this on top. Unless he really wants to, he wants to lock up a 4/3. That would be the one way to do it. If you thought it was really important to have an extra 3 toughness creature against Rice's board of all 2 power.
Hinterland Harbor. Breeding Pool enter the battlefield tapped. We're heading back over to Remington Rice. History of Benalia is about to go off. So Knights will get +2/+1. Someone get that History of Banali off the battlefield. Get that out of here.
There we go. There we go.
That was going to bug me. Beatdowns. Make another token. Always beatdowns. Jadelight Ranger's got some blocking to do.
I mean, Jessup can eat twice here. You know, something like the 4/3 in front of Thorn Lieutenant and a 3/2 in front of the one of the 1/1s. Again, I sort of think that if you block the way Jessup did last turn, somewhat motivated by the possibility of a second Amara, I don't think there's any reason that's changed here. I wouldn't trade off the 3/2 Jadelight Ranger for the Amara. I would just try to put that in front of one of the tokens.
Okay. Well, looking to get in front of a Knight token here.
Sure, yeah. Trade up, that's fine too.
Yeah, trading up's not bad.
Basically, the Amara, I would not expend resources trying to answer at this point.
Well, it looks like 4 damage is going to come through. There's a little trade action there. Let's see what the follow-up is here for Rice. Assuming there is one, of course. Sapperling Migration. Couple of 1/1s. It is interesting that this Command the Dreadhorde deck, the Sultai version, does have a little bit of difficulty with the opponent going wide. It appears.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think at this point, Fine Finality is out of the deck. That's how you used to kind of cheat these matchups.
Mm-hmm.
You have some spot removal. That's not going to be good here. You can go around the blockers. I think every turn, Rice is just kind of here's all my stuff, push.
This is going to shake the world. Untap a land. Make it a 3/3 Vigilance. Probably can even get in for 3 points of damage, I think. Yeah. Shouldn't have to worry about some sort of combat trick here.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, the last few attacks from Remington, he's expending resources to try to push the damage and go wide. If you're doing that, you can't afford to put 3 tokens in front of a land.
Yep.
Even if it's bad, you've kind of made your bed. So
back to Rice we're going to go. Sitting at 8-1 with his Selesnya tokens deck here in our Season 1 Invitational. Jessup is trying to stabilize the battlefield, but Remington Rice wants to keep pushing it over. And finally get Jessup's life total down to 0.
I think Rice's hand here, another Amara and a Tulsimer.
Looks like a little short on lands, though.
Got to keep it going. Keep it going.
Beatdowns.
Yep. This is where we're at.
And I think this time we're going at Jessup. You don't like blocking the Amara?
I don't buy it. I don't buy it. What else could be in his hand? And the initial attack there, going back several turns ago into the 4/3. If I'm Jessup, I think the odds are just so high that there's an Amara in hand.
Well, let's see what we got as a follow-up. 3 mana follow-up, huh? District Guide into Amara. Makes for a pretty fine turn. District Guide, pardon me, / Borderland Ranger / Civic Wayfinder. Some of my favorite cards in Magic. I love to find a land with a creature. We'll see Rice shuffle and present, and I think we'll see Amara post-combat here as well. There it is. Just as you felt there, partner. Back to Jessup we are going to go. Does have access to a decent chunk of mana this turn because of Nissa. So we'll see what Danny J can do with it and his Sultai Dreadhorde deck.
Yeah, it looks like Jessup is on the verge of stabilizing this just by having enough blockers to lock out of combat. A Krasis would be a big deal here too because just a little bit of life would go a long way. but he's not quite out of the woods yet.
He'll play a Forest, tap it for green mana, so it'll tap for double green, and then untap it with Nissa. Now it's Tamiyo.
More generic. Card advantage.
Yeah, well, they're powerful.
They are.
What are we looking for here?
Crisis. I would guess Hydro Crisis. Nope.
Named Wild Growth Walker.
Yeah, that'd be a fine choice.
Krasis is headed to the graveyard, but perhaps coming back from the graveyard next turn via Tamiyo, if there is a next turn. Beatdowns. Vigilance Land beatdowns.
I could be talked into an Amara plus District Guide block here.
I'm going to get you with a cast down then. What do you think about that, pal?
It's going to be really good regardless.
You are not wrong. 2 cast downs, 2 Assassin's Trophies in Danny Jessup's deck. He's trying to get a couple of points of damage here, maybe having Remington Rice make a mistake.
It is a risky block.
Of course.
But.
And he's got life to work with.
10 a.m.
Danny, you sneaky pounce, you.
Your next round pairings have been posted.
Could have gotten ruined by a double block.
10 a.m. Modern
Jade Light Ranger. Mana floating. Overgrown Tomb is reveal 1. The next one is Command the Dreadhorde. There's a single black floating. Command the Dreadhorde out of here. Jade Light Ranger is a 3-2 to go along with the 4-3-1, and then 2-3-3 lands as we head back over to Remington Rice. He'll untap all those lands. We know there's a Tulsimar. Friend to the Wolves in hand. We're going to have to get prepared to take a look at that card here in just a moment. There's also Tristani Discord.
Who would lally?
Yes.
That is a draw.
That might be a better draw than Tulsimar. Is it lethal? Pretty close, right?
Shrug,
Yeah.
shrug, cast, and then jam. And whatever happens.
Been jamming every other turn.
Yeah. It's not getting better than this. Is not a bad spot.
Don't you dare stop attacking.
Yep.
Yes, Remington. I'm a big Remington Rice fan. Big fan. Creatures, Crusades, attack all button.
Yep.
You betcha he's 8-1.
Just chumped attack every turn starting on turn 3.
Who's winning?
Yep. Ba-doop-ba-doop-boop-boop-boop.
Couple blocks. Is it lethal? It's close to lethal.
And he can't, if the removal spell in question is cast down, that can't be used here on the Tristani.
No. Close to lethal. Some pretty good blocks here for Jessup, I will say that.
Yeah, but Remington actually gets to make some inroads on the board this time, which wasn't happening in the previous turns.
Jessup's going to go down to 1.
Like Rice was just throwing things into a brick wall, and here he's actually killing a few blockers, which might soften up Jessup for a attack the following turn.
What do you think? Good turn to cast Command the Dreadhorde? Maybe
No.
not. Maybe not.
I don't think so.
Okay. Let's go back over to Danny, who's got lands and Tamiyo in hand.
Yep. Not a powerful holding here for Jessup.
And no mass removal in the deck.
Llanowar Elves.
Nice. Hydroid Krasis is going to have some real work to do if Jessup's going to get back into this one. Now, even I don't think that's going to be good enough.
No, I mean, that's only one blocker.
Overgrown Tomb will be made into a 3-3.
It's also pretty hard for Rice to miss the next turn because land number 6 is good, and any spells should do something as well.
Hydroid. I mean, one creature gets through, the game ends. Can't forget about that. Maybe not so much anymore.
Yeah.
Gain 2 life, go to 3. It's 4 blockers, 1, 2, 3, 4. What? No, cast down doesn't do it. Trophy would do it though. Trophy would buy some time.
Yep. Although even Trophy, he would get out of it because he got 4 blockers against 6 tokens.
Yep.
He'd be able to kill the Tristani.
That's what we're on the hunt for. Is exactly Assassin's Trophy. 2 of them in the main deck. You can of course see that on Cardboard Live. Where our deck lists are. Looks like Overgrown Tomb's going to, actually it's a Woodland Cemetery, pardon me. Llanowar time? Oh yeah, 5th blocker. I don't think there's an Assassin's Trophy in hand. Pass the turn back. Will Jessup over to Rice. We're going to find out one way or another either way. Yes, Talsmere. Fight. That wolf's actually a big creature too. Because of Tristani. Everybody. Yes, every turn. Every turn.
Every turn.
Every creature, every turn in perpetuity.
A lot of things died. That's okay. Don't care.
Keep making them.
Keep going.
Remington Rice wins game number 1 over Danny Jessup. Selesnya tokens. Utilizing the attack all button. Up a game over Sultai Dreadhorde. You know I approve. Danny Jessup's got 3 Thrashing Brontodons, 3 negates, 3 duresses, 2 the Elder Spell, 2 of Ob-Nixilis' Cruelty. Nice. A Vraska, Golgari Queen, and a 3rd copy of Cast Down in the sideboard. Talk to me.
Vraska. End of list.
That's it?
I think so. What else?
Negate against the spell heavy deck?
I mean, I guess the spells are so cheap.
They are cheap.
What are you going to negate here?
Flourish.
History of Benalia, maybe? I don't know. It doesn't seem
March
great.
of the Multitudes?
Sure, I guess. I mean, that's a tough,
There are some targets.
Yeah.
They're not great, though. Ob-Nixilis Cruelty, definitely not. Cast Down's probably getting sideboarded out. Duress? A lot of spells.
Duress is fine.
A lot of spells. All right. I like that.
Duress.
Remington Rice, 3 Knight of Autumn, 3 Baffling End, 2 Prison Realm, 2 Gideon Blackblade, 2 Ajani Adversary of Tyrants, 1 of here and another copy of Talsmere, a Vivian Reed, and a 3rd copy of the Immortal Sun. What do we like here and why?
I mean, none of it really. I guess the Tulsimer, it's okay, I guess. I think the other Planeswalkers are a little too easy for Jessup to manage here. I don't really want to bring in another copy of the Immortal Sun because I don't think Rice wants to play that deep of a game. I don't like bringing in the Prison Realms against someone who's likely to have enchantment removal. Maybe they have their own Vivian Reeds. So, I would keep it more or less the same, though it looks like Rice is doing some heavy sideboarding.
Fair. These players are getting ready for game number 2. Remington Rice up a game over Danny Jessup. We're going to watch Sultai Dreadhorde do battle against Selesnya tokens again here in just a moment. But first, Patrick's got to talk to you about Star City Games Game Night.
So Game Night is a popular promotion that Star City Games runs in concert with your local store. Every month we set up a new kit that comes with tokens and sleeves that are sent to the store that are signed up for Game Night. And then stores have the freedom to run Game Night however they want, whatever format, whatever time of the week. Just get players in the store on a regular basis for some fun and friendly magic. In front of you right now is the June kit, Makeshift Mischief. More kits coming out as the months roll on. Go over to go.starcitygames.com/Game Night. Find the Game Night closest to you. And stores, if you want to get signed up for Game Night, contact your Star City Games in-store play representative.
Well done, partner.
Thank you.
Well done. Proud of you.
Thank you.
Danny Jessup, a former Invitational runner-up, has played in the Players' Championship. And his baby bro, Andrew Jessup, is your reigning Invitational champion. Jessup from New York. Go ahead and say that word.
Ronkonkoma?
That sounds roughly correct. It's a
Somewhere
made-up
out
town.
somewhere on the island.
Yeah.
Long Island.
9 Opens played last year, 3 Open top 8s, 16 Open top 8s all time with 1 W and 3 Invitational top 8s. He gave up a home run to Mike Trout when he was 12. No shame in that. No shame in that. Mike Trout's going to hit a bomb tonight. I just got a feeling. I guess I could just say that every day.
New Jersey.
I'd be right most days.
A Jersey boy.
Trout?
Yeah. Yep.
Pretty good at baseball. I wouldn't mind being Mike Trout.
Seems okay.
Playing for the Angels seems horrible.
You have to live in Orange County,
Yeah.
which is
That's a lot.
cool. Did that for a little while, never
Only
again.
during the season, though. Can leave in the off season.
Have you been to the ballpark in Anaheim?
No, actually.
So Dodger Stadium is just this iconic.
It's so bad.
It feels like it's just perpetually in the 1960s.
Yeah.
Like it's, and then you have Petco Park downtown in San Diego. It's like really fun park, integrated with the city pretty well, a lot to do. And then Angel Stadium is just across the street from some warehouses.
Yeah,
in Anaheim. It looks like no human beings are anywhere near it.
That sounds right.
And then I saw go there and it's like this is the most horrible, like pure Orange County experience that you can imagine. And then the Angels came out to Trains Calling All Angels.
Oh, I'm in now. Anything train related? Why'd you slow roll the best part of the story?
I was like, I'm gonna go home.
No, stay. They might play the song again.
This is the closest I came to doing the baseball equivalent of walking out of the movie.
That's a great tune. Merfolk Branchwalker going to leave that card on top. We got to get you better musical taste. Train is really good.
It's just, it was a morale killer.
I think the morale was already killed at that Albert Pujols contract. It wasn't
This is before then.
Oh,
Before
it was before then. Okay.
Before then.
Here's an attack for 3 from old Branchy. Yeah, the Dodgers game, because the only Dodgers game I've ever been to was with you, and it was Dodger Dog Night.
Yeah.
Which that's a lot.
Yeah, no, it's exhausting, but
Yeah.
it's also fun.
That's just a lot. Assassin's Trophy also going to go to the graveyard. Perhaps Jessup on the hunt for lands, but his Jade Light Ranger and Merfolk Branchwalker are both fairly large, as there's a Plains here for Rice. And now it's a baffling end that's costing 3? That only costs 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. See if we can fix that.
Not a big deal.
It's not the end of the world. In for 3 more. Yeah, I'm over it.
What are you over?
Just the 3-mana
Oh,
baffling.
the overpay? Yeah.
Yeah.
The inflation.
I'm also I'm also over Dodger Dog Night, but that's a different story entirely. Hydroid Crisis, eh?
Yep, just looking for mana.
Breeding Pool Learner's Battlefield tapped. Go back to Remington.
Jessup has milled past cheap cards and expensive cards, so
Legion's Landing.
sick. It's a good turn for that.
Not always there when you call, but always on time. You know who that song's by?
No.
It's your boy Ja Rule. Multi-platinum artist.
Yeah.
Prison term. Gonna take care of Jade Light Ranger. He's also...
I really don't like Rice boarding in all this removal.
it's a lot. It's a lot. He's not proactive now.
Like, you've got to get this thing over with before you get buried by Planeswalkers or Hydroid Crisis. This notion that I'm going to kill Jessup's just endless sea of elvish visionaries and then that's going to lead to something.
That ain't it.
I don't buy it.
That ain't it, a bus. I don't think that strategy is going to work out well for our pal Remington here this game. Prison Realm scrying top card to the bottom. So we go back over to Danny Jessup and his Planeswalker strategy. In with Branchy B. The follow-up. Thrashy B. Blow up the Prison Realm. Get back Jade Light Ranger. Trigger 2 Explorers. Hit 1. Nissa to the bin. Hit 2. Command the Dread Horde is still in the deck.
Jessup just apoplectic. Just cannot find a land.
That's just 6 cards right to the graveyard.
He made the face.
Yeah.
Oh. There's the Johnny.
I would go with not great.
A Johnny, Adversary of Tyrants in the house.
Yep. Venerated Loxodon. Big Elephant making a 2/2 Vampire. Back to Danny J we go. Tameo. Ah, yeah. Love it, love it, love it. You want some of this, elephant?
I'm guessing no.
Yeah. You want a piece of me? Didn't think so. Remington Rice down to 7. Tameo.
I'm a little interested to see the attack there with the Jade Light Ranger because the Jade Light Ranger is so good blocking the 2/2 lifelinker that Rice is going to have access to next turn, and Rice gets to recoup the damage you've dealt through that. So I think I'd rather just hang tight.
All right. Tameo up to 6.
Llanowar Elves.
There's no way that's what was named.
I doubt it.
Named Hydroid Grace. Llanowar Elves.
Need some mana.
Yeah, sure do. Back over to Rice. How's the Johnny look now?
Still extremely bad.
Okay.
But Tristani could be good.
Tristani can definitely be good.
Tristani's excellent here.
Couple of tokens. Bigger creatures. Gumming up the ground. Remington Rice looking to start a comeback. Are we convoking too? Conclave Tribunal will take care of Tameo. Yes. Not a bad turn. 2 spells, 1 turn. Gotta love that.
Mm-hmm.
And now, Venerate Loxodon coming into the red zone. Did we just leave ourselves DOB? Oh, no.
You know,
Oh,
it appears so.
Oh, no.
Jessup's attack heads up there in
Oh,
retrospect.
boy.
I don't know if they're, don't know about the math. I don't know if the life totals.
What?
For sure.
I feel like I'm missing something.
Well, if it's Nissa, then it's not close.
Yeah.
Then you're, So
is Remington at 7?
Find out in a moment.
Don't want to disrupt the game.
They're gonna, he'll pick up his cards or he won't. We'll
Yeah.
find out in a turn. Okay.
All right, fair enough. We're gonna have to check. I feel like I'm missing something.
I'm not touching this. Find out in a turn.
Yeah.
The Johnny Adversary Tyrant's still in the house. Bad news here for Jessup is he's about to get shut out of this one from Jessup's side, because once Legion's Landing transforms into Danto, attacking on the ground, especially through all these anthems, that's going to be
done.
That's done.
All right, got some tokens getting a little bit bigger here. Yeah, the ground attacks are just not going to work. History of Benalia in hand.
I wouldn't mind Rice trying to throw in an attack or two here.
Just to transform?
Well, I mean, you'd ideally transform, but even if you don't want to do that, it feels like the Venerated Loxodon, I suppose at this point, if the Loxodon's a 5/5, and all right, well, we're going to sort this out in a minute. Gonna say, if you're going to attack with a Loxodon with a 5/5, it gives Jessup a good block there with a couple of 3 toughness creatures in front of the Loxodon, so you only trade 1 for 1. Once you want to commit the Loxodon, you might as well send in a little bit more to transform into a Danto and gain some life for your trouble. And you probably get, you get some blocks for it too.
All right. Got some blocks, got some exchanges, got Nissa down to 1, it appears, because the Loxodon is a 5/5. All right. Apparently life totals are 13 to 13. Looks like we may have had a discrepancy. So we apologize at home for said discrepancy. Back to Jessup we go. With a Nissa on 1. And a Hinterland Harbor, that's a 3/3.
Copper players, your next round will be making their way to the pairings board soon. Your next round pairings for Copper are making their way to the pairings boards.
Add a little green mana. Make that forest into a 3/3. We'll see what comes next here for Jessup. Looks like he's going to be doing this with the breeding pool. There's Tamiyo. Tamiyo. Will it go up or down as it starts on 5? Does the Collector of Tales.
Be really good here for Rice to get in one big swing next turn if he can. To try to get Danny off the option of Dreadhorde as a way to catch up.
And now it's Jade Light Ranger. Wild Growth Walker going to go to the graveyard.
Good spot for that one if
Yep.
you're trying to set it up.
Woodland Cemetery. Went to the hand. Jessup trying to figure out if he played a land or not. That's why you see the pause.
I don't think he had a land in his hand
I don't believe so either.
during this turn. That one's pretty easy to because Danny should know that he missed a land drop, and that part of this play was motivated by finding a land for the turn.
We're going back to Remington Rice. Baffling End.
Not a bad draw here.
Doesn't seem bad.
Again, it would be nice for Remington to be able to dial up a big hit here. Although it might be tougher now with if you can get in some damage or take care of the Nissa or the mana to try to cut him off 6 mana. That's another path. But if I'm in Rice's spot right now, position's feeling pretty good. You're going to be much bigger and better on the battlefield, but you have to be mindful of Command the Dreadhorde pulling Jessup all the way back and then some.
Though Jessup only has so much life to work with.
Well, now that the Wild Growth Walker's in the graveyard, that's changed.
Mm-hmm.
The calculus on how it washes out if he gets back a bunch of stuff is way different.
Baffling End's going to take care of Hinterland Harbor. Ajani is going to pump up the jam on Venerated Loxodon and that Vampire token. It's time for some beatdowns. Where those beatdowns will go, we will find out in just a moment.
I don't know. Looks like Nissa is the card to cut off here, which makes some sense because if Jessup is pinned on mana, that really really dampens his options for how to proceed in the next couple of turns. Because the only way that he's going to pull back into this, remember, no fine finality in the deck, is just it has to involve a ton of mana. It's either Command or his Hydroid Krasis.
Well, both these creatures are going at Nissa. And Nissa down. Gain a little bit of life there from the Vampire. Post-combat, I think we'll probably see a History of Analia, or it could be, of course, an Adanto activation. It's going to be the powerful enchantment that's going to bring along a token with it. That'll be a 3/3 with the assist there from Tristani. And it's going to be back over to Danny Jessup, who's got a Jade-Light Ranger as a 3/2, a Forest is a 3/3, a Tameo, and it looks like a copy of Command the Dreadhorde in hand. Going to start by plussing the Tameo. Duress. Among the cards, Hydrate Krasis was the name. Didn't find it, but does have Command the Dreadhorde. So, let's see what this powerful card is going to get back. Wild Growth Walkers, plural.
Yep.
Among them.
This was the concern.
Now you got to remember, Wild Growth Walker triggers go on the stack, right? So 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So he's going to get 12 mana worth of stuff, go down to 1, and then there are going to be 5 Explore triggers.
So he gains 30.
Your math is good. It's going to make it hard for Selesny to win.
Yeah. Well, I think Remington will play it out from here, but I don't know.
I don't know if that's a good idea with only 12 minutes left on the clock, but we'll see. A lot of exploring to be done. Assassin's Trophy hanging out now. Command the Dreadhorde plus the Explorer package is a nice one.
Yeah, it's cool. And to circle it back, this is why in the when we were talking about the sideboards, why I was not a huge fan of Rice trying to play a longer game with a bunch of removal spells.
Right there with you.
Because this outcome right here completely invalidates all the incremental progress that Rice made on the board leading up to this moment.
Here's to Benalia number 2. I think that's just going to be a little too late now. I just don't know how Remington's able to keep up with what Jessup has put together here. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it just strikes me as very difficult.
I'm going to say it's impossible. Jessup said 31. Said 31. You can only deck him. Which maybe is possible. It's not. I guess eventually Crisis gets it over with.
I guess this could be one way to do it. A little emblem action.
I mean, I guess. That still seems like a long ways away, but you know, maybe.
It's funny because 3/1/1s might be too slow every turn.
Yeah.
And you don't say that very often.
Justice just got so much life to play with here, but you know. And also, he can just get back the Assassin's Trophy and just tag.
Or just get back that.
Yeah, sure.
And get all the Planeswalkers back. I get it. I get it now. This is a very, very Danny Jessup-esque deck.
Yeah.
A little mid-range, grindy affair. Ooh, Thrashy B. Among the cards that could be coming back here. Tameo, Thrashing Brontodon, Merfolk Branchwalker, Llanowar Elves, Nissa who shakes the world. All back on the battlefield. SCGCon, some of you might be picking up some of the audio there at home. We got some cosplayers taking some photos, and a lot of people here in the Berglund Center in Roanoke, Virginia. Wish you could have joined us at home, but we do appreciate you joining us here on the broadcast, as we got a lot of people taking pictures and having fun.
A lot of enthusiasm.
That's right.
It's cool. It's not just like, a Magic tournament where that's the main focus.
No.
I heard someone just called over the PA for, I think, a commander pod.
Oh, yeah.
That I had not seen in close to 20 years.
I love it.
I'm going to hop on over there. Send my regards.
Got some of Commander's finest out here. This looks honestly like a Commander game what we're watching right now.
Yeah.
These battlefields are gummed up, a lot to keep track of. But I think if I had to...
So how's this go? Danny wins the game in turns, and then...
It's another draw. Our first two matches are a draw today.
Right.
Oh, yeah, there it is. No one gets a time-shifted match, and we have Todd and Ryan cover the next 6 rounds.
It's fine with me. It's fine.
Another night token for Mr. Benalia. One, of course, did go off, so these knights are 4 3s. Let's make them 5 4s because of Tristani. But no good attacks for them as we head back over to Danny Jessup, who's going to try to figure out a way to win this game. I do agree with you. I think it does just revolve around Hydroid Krasis. It's going to do a little plussing here from Tamio. Another Command the Dreadhorde, huh? Not so much. Not sure what Danny was looking for there, but we'll find out. The name was Krasis. Next turn, Jessup will be able to actually minus Tamio to get back Krasis from the graveyard. How about those Padres? Huh?
Big win yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Walk off, 2 RBI, shot. Not home run, but, hedges.
Oh,
Hedges.
boy. You're a great catcher. How about Kawhi?
How about Kawhi? Unbelievable. Unbelievable performance.
He's a lot. He has really big hands.
Yeah.
Can you imagine playing Magic with those hands? Reaching for your opponent's permanent. Just can't get your hand around the card.
Just, reaching to shuffle before game 1 and just crushing their deck.
Yeah, deck explodes in your hands. Uh-oh, looks like we have a result. I'm going to guess Danny Jessup won that game.
Yeah. Thank God.
There we go.
Game 3.
More of this.
I think Remington Rice should. I assume that he, by the looks of things, cut out a lot of the low end. We saw Baffling End, saw Prison Realm, and we saw Ajani. And I think you got to get rid of most, if not all of that, and just, especially now that you've seen Thrashing Brontodon. That to me is just that's the end of the conversation.
You got to have less enchantments.
If you're I think those enchantments are sketchy to begin with, and if Jessup is bringing in the Brontodons, that's way too much. But we'll see. It looks like Rice is just shoveling up here for game number 3, so we'll find out in a moment.
All right, well, they're both shuffling up for game number 3, and we're going to be prepared to watch it. They don't have a lot of time, about 6 minutes. It'll be 5 minutes after this quick commercial break. All right, game 3. Taking a look at those openers. They got about 5 minutes to do it, folks. It's going to be tough. If anybody can do it in 5 minutes, so I think it's Remington Rice between the two. But they got to get the show on the road, or it's going to be another draw here. All right, Amara is a way they get it done pretty fast. Branch Walker here to do some blocking, though. Flower's going to find a basic plains. There's a land for the turn. And there's a baffling end there to take care of that Branch Walker and give some beatdowns. So these enchantments are still in the deck. Amara's going to come across here for 2, make a token. Jessup's going to fall down to 18. Rice is currently ahead. We'll see if Jessup can maybe stabilize here with a removal spell or a Jade Light Ranger. So he'll quickly untap and draw a card. Thrashing Brontonon, not a bad draw at all.
Well, that one got left on top. I assume if there was a Jade Light Ranger in the mix in the hand, that probably one gets milled over. Jessup just on the hunt for a 3-mana play for his 3rd turn.
4 mana. Conclave Tribunal. See you later, Thrashing Brontonon. In for 3, make a token. So the beatdown strategy working here for Remington Rice. A little tempo-ish, you know. Play a creature, kill your creature. You play a creature, I kill that creature too. And I'm generating more creatures. Not a bad start.
Yeah, great opening here so far. The removal spell is looking a lot better, backed up by a little bit of pressure. And Rice with that unchecked Amara, curbing out with removal spells. Jessup falling further and further behind.
Players in the 1 p.m. standard challenge.
Duress in hand here for Jessup. Duress can certainly be good in this matchup. You already see 2 non-creature spells that have been played. Actually, 3 if you count Flower Flourish. This here is Duress. Not sure if Remington Rice has any left in hand. History of Benalia and March on the Multitudes means that there are actually 2 left in hand. And March is actually looking pretty good on this battlefield. That's tough, though. Both cards are good right now.
Yeah, I mean, you might want to taking March. I was actually thought that would be history here because it would take a turn off of combat here from Rice to really do anything with that March, but looks like Jessup putting a lot of stock into that one.
Here is History of Benalia.
You really feel the absence of fine finality in these decks now.
In this matchup, for sure.
I think Command the Dreadhorde is supposed to be sort of the analog for that sort of thing. But here, man, would you prefer fine finality?
I mean, it's just crazy to think about how much play that card used to see, and now it is not even in sideboards.
Right.
It's nowhere to be found. As here is Nissa, who shakes the world. Going to generate a 3/3. There's going to be an attack here, maybe?
I mean, it's essentially free. Attack's not worth a whole lot, but, you know, it's fine. It's fine.
Rice going to fall down to 20. Let's go back over to Remington Rice. He'll untap all of his creatures. He will draw a card. History of Benalia is going to go up to 2. I think that may have been another copy of Baffling End.
No, this is a Legion's Landing, which is really good. One, because it's going to transform this turn pretty easily. And the other thing that's great about this is that Rice's last card in hand is Flower Flourish. So, you know, you don't really want to go get land number 5 with nothing to do with it. You kind of want to hold off. But also, you're not that interested in drawing 2 lands in a row to set it all up. So Legion's Landing is perfect because it's a spell and also a land.
So long as he remembers to transform it, which I don't think that he did. Which is a touch awkward, to say the least. He was
right, I mean, it would be
moving
perfect.
A little too quick.
It'd be perfect with the leftovers here, too, because you would have enough mana to make a token this turn.
Yeah.
I don't know how much it's going to matter at the end of the day because I think Jessup's going to not be able to manage the board as it stands, but, you know.
And actually, Remington Rice kind of pointed at his Legion's Landing saying, I forgot to trigger this. That said, as you did mention, still doing totally fine, and History of Benalia is about to go off next turn.
Right.
So, might not end up mattering all that much here for Remington Rice, as this aggressive slant that he's taken in this game is working out pretty well for him. Nissa will go up to 7, make a breeding pool into a 3/3. Jessup's going to tap a whole bunch of mana here, see what he's going to put together. This will be a Hydroid Krasis. 4/4 Hydroid Krasis, in fact. Gain a little bit of life. Draw a couple of cards. Assassin's Trophy in hand means that there will be a little bit of interaction on Remington Rice's turn as time is called in the round. So Jessup is turn 0. Rice will be turns 1, 3, and 5. Jessup will be turn 0, which is this one, 2, and 4. All right, Jessup will pass the turn back over to Rice. Turn 1. It's been a long time since we've had back-to-back extra turn games in the feature match area, but we are here, folks. As we go back over to Remington Rice, he's going to trigger his History Benalia once again. Those Knights get a little bit larger now. Let's see, 3 blockers plus a removal spell. Means that Jessup's actually done a pretty nice job on this board. I will say Conclave Tribunal doesn't appear to be a bad draw.
Nope. I mean, again, the only way that Jessup's going to play catch-up here, the way that his deck is structured, is with a ton of mana to facilitate something big.
Goodbye, Nissa, at least for now.
Tuning up the band.
Yep. You know I approve. Legion's Landing going to transform into a Danto, the first fort, and all the creatures are coming in. Those Knight tokens are 4/3s from History of Benalia, and then you've got a whole bunch of Knuckleheads as 1/1s. Don't forget that Jessup does have a copy of Assassin's Trophy in hand, so he can interact here on Remington Rice's turn. I think he'll be looking to do just that here in just a moment. Yeah, time to start tapping some of that mana.
This Assassin's Trophy, though, it sets up the stage for Flourish next turn, just rolled up.
Makes you wonder if Jessup is cognizant of that or not, or if it even matters. Let's see what's going to happen. This is an Assassin's Trophy. The question is, what does it target? It's going to target the Conclave Tribunal that had Nissa under it, so Nissa will come back.
And that's Magic land number 6 for Remington Rice.
Basic Plains has been found. And now there will be some trades in combat. These Knight tokens will trade with Hydroid Krasis and a land. A token will lose to the Breeding Pool. And it looks like 4 damage is going to come across. I believe Jessup's going to fall down to 2. Well, we're going to head over to turn 2 for Danny Jessup at 2 life. He'll untap with a Nissa and draw a card. Llanowar Elves, I believe, not the ideal draw. Obviously want that much earlier in the game.
The Tamiyo just provides so little immediate value.
Yeah, as powerful as a card as that is, it's a card you want to have for a couple of turns, because the original investment of 4 mana is quite a bit, even with Nissa on the battlefield. That forest is now a 3/3. Here is Tamiyo. We'll see if Jessup wants to plus or minus this card. The answer is minus. Get back Trophy. trying to stay alive. Get in 6 points of damage while you're at it, given that these lands have vigilance. Back to Rice. You know the last card in hand on turn 3. And I think it might be a game-winning Flower Flourish. Actually, won't be, right?
Yeah, if he had transformed the Adanto the first time around, he would be up 1 token, and then I think he would have it.
Yeah.
As it stands, he's still going to get, you know, a lot of Jessup's resources out of this whole thing. But Jessup still might be able to squeeze out a draw the following turn.
I think it's very likely he'll be able to squeeze out a draw. Remington's draw was pretty much useless. I believe it was just a land. And that means we would have a little flourish action. All these creatures get +2/+2. They'd all run into other creatures there on Jessup's side. A bunch of trading would take place, and an Assassin's Trophy would actually save Jessup from losing.
Right, because you trade off with 2 tokens, and the Assassin's Trophy covers something. The next turn, the Nissa generates another token, so you block the 1 remaining.
Play another Legion's Landing.
So I guess the route here for Remington, well, you can't really make an attack here without casting the Flower Flourish.
Yeah, so I think you just play the Legion's Landing and just make a token on the end step and hope to get across the finish line next turn.
Well, there's nothing to be done here. An attack here is pretty much a straightforward dead end. You need to try to set yourself up to be able to just get one thing through.
Yep. That's what he's trying to do as we head over to Jessup. Land the draw. Tameo up. Going to name a little something here.
Crisis, I would assume.
Crisis is the name of the game, but it's a whiff.
So right now, Jessup gets to plus the Nissa and get to a 4th blocker, and he's got the Assassin's Trophy, which is, let's call that effectively a 5th blocker.
Mm-hmm.
If Remington Rice makes a token here and casts Flower Flourish, I think he gets across the finish line in turn 5.
I think that you are right.
Jessup just needed to find one thing. He needed a blocker, a removal spell.
Or a hit with Tameo.
Yeah,
anything.
Any one piece. His draw step was something, whatever. But I think that the way that it stands now, if Remington just makes a token, casts Flower Flourish, Jessup is not going to be able to defend himself. Every single attacker is lethal, and Jessup will be 1 defender short of being able to survive.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's turn 5. No time like the present. Cast and Flourish. All these creatures are going to get +2/+2. There are 6 of them on the battlefield. Jessup has 4 blockers plus 1 Assassin's Trophy. And I think he has come to the realization that he is going to come up 1 turn short, 1 spell short of a draw. As Flourish will resolve, and maybe my opponent won't attack with everything. You know who you're playing against? Remington Rice.
He attacked with everything every time he could.
That's right. All these creatures are coming in, and that is going to do it. Remington Rice is going to win this game and match here over Danny Jessup, 2-1. Selesnya tokens on turn 5. Going to take